AI is impacting local search. You already knew this, but in this video, I want to talk about three actionable tips on how you can leverage this trend to rank high and to ensure that your local business doesn't suffer. So, tip number one, you need to stop thinking about SEO as search engine optimization and start thinking about it as search everywhere optimization. You want to publish content, appear on as many platforms as possible. So you want to appear on platforms like Instagram, Facebook. I published a video about this recently on how Google and GBP are fetching posts from Instagram and Facebook, and we're super early in this development, and a lot of local businesses aren't leveraging this. So you can really move ahead if you actually start creating content on these platforms. So, number one is how you want to rethink your SEO, and you want to actually leverage different platforms to rank your local business. Here's a fun diagram that I created that actually helps you envision this. So before AI, we had your website, your blog, GPP, and they all helped you optimize for local SEO and ideally rank high on Google, right? So the top three rankings. But a lot of things have changed, and keyword-based research isn't good enough anymore, right? You want to have prompts, and you want to have like prompt-based answers on your website, on your blog, GBP as well, like in your posts and your reviews, a bunch of other places. And you want to actually answer questions from customers in all of these places, right? That's how you need to think about your content and your SEO strategy. Um, One tool that you could use for this is Ask the Public. You can see all the questions that relate to your local business and your industry. Like if you're a plumber, there could be a lot of questions about fixing leaks in certain kind of situation, right? So you want to actually have answers for such questions that your customers are asking and publish that content everywhere. You want to publish content very frequently. That's another big thing here. And you want to create like different kinds of content. So short videos on Instagram are doing really well, like Reels. Um, Facebook, you can really appear in communities. GBP, hopefully you're already creating posts every week. And you want to do this in addition to your website and blog. It's very, very important to think of platforms like Instagram as search engines and not just social media, right? Like people actually enter prompts and enter questions and keywords on Instagram, right? And a lot of times they discover content in their feed, but other times they actually search for specific problems, right? And Instagram is really capitalizing on this. And right now, it's still pretty early for businesses to leverage Instagram. Like not every local business is doing it, and you can really rank higher and get in front of more people and more of your target customers if you leverage Instagram really well in your niche. So definitely start thinking about content differently and think about creating content on different platforms and as many platforms as you can. You can also create content on TikTok, obviously, but also posts on Yelp and other places. You could consider creating a YouTube channel if that is something that you think your customers are going to frequent. It doesn't take that much effort to just publish the same reel as a short on YouTube and vice versa, right? So you could actually do a lot of that where you're repurposing content. And a lot of businesses have started doing this. I see a lot of, restaurants, some HVAC, some roofers that are doing this on Instagram. So some people have started creating content like this, and you really want to get on this trend very, very quickly. All right. So, in addition to posting on multiple platforms and thinking about SEO as search everywhere optimization, the second thing that you want to think about in this age of AI is, of course, reviews, right? We all know that reviews are super, super important, and we have been getting reviews on GBP and a bunch of other platforms, maybe like Facebook, maybe Yelp, but now with AI, you want to try to get reviews on as many platforms as you can. Like, if there's like some local um, platforms where people in your industry, businesses in your industry typically list. You want to list on there, see if you can get reviews in that platform. The more the merrier, right? If you're not getting reviews on Yelp and Facebook, in addition to Google, definitely do that. It's already like too late. I should have done that like a year or two ago, but definitely better now than never, right? So really think about that and get reviews on multiple platforms. You can also circle between different platforms. So get maybe like 40% of your reviews on Google, maybe 30% on Yelp, and the remaining 30% on Facebook. And you can keep changing things around, see how see how it's really impacting your local business. I would say that Google is still more important, but the other platforms are also getting more important, with each passing day. All right. The third thing that you really want to focus on is mentions. Mentions, I think, are probably the biggest change that's happened like with AI in the realm of like search and SEO. You want to get mentioned on as many platforms as many times by different people. Like these could be subreddits on Reddit that pertain to your niche. It could also be Facebook communities. That's a great place to be active. If everybody vouches for you in your local Facebook community or in your industry specific Facebook community, that's a great signal to LLMs and AI platforms. So definitely try to increase your mentions. I would say that backlinks are not as important anymore. It's more about citations and mentions, and mentions even more than citations. Citations are important, definitely, but mentions are super, super important, right? So if you're the kind of business that has been um, mentioned like several times on a certain platform that is very specific to your industry, that's going to give a great signal to the LLM platforms. You can also think about getting industry awards or local community awards. Publish that, like some kind of PR related to that would be great. And again, like you can also get mentions on social media platforms. Instagram is great. You can publish all your reviews on Instagram across different channels and platforms that you got reviews from. You can publish those on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, and you can keep publishing that review periodically, right? So maybe do it like once every 6 months and have a unique take on it. Maybe have like the right kind of keywords in that review. You should also, yeah, I think that's really important. You want to focus on certain prompts that customers use for your local business when they're asking you questions, and you want to repurpose that into reviews, into social media posts, um, into like blog content, into FAQs on your website, like everywhere. Because now we're going from a keyword based search system to prompt based and everywhere, all platform based search system. So I think that's something to keep in mind. You really want to increase your mentions. And it's okay if you're not being mentioned on every platform, but if you're mentioned a lot of times on one platform, that's still pretty good. It's better than like nothing. So consider joining your local Facebook communities and your industry specific Facebook communities. Be very active there. Be active on Instagram. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions. This is a great time to increase like sales and leads that are coming into your business, because we're still very early and a lot of people haven't figured out the AI game. You're I can bet you're like in the top 1% of your industry folks if you really like nail this. And if you follow some of these points of advice, I think it should definitely help you. Let me know if you have any questions, and looking forward to working with you. Take care.